I mean, does he really need an intro? Kyo's lifelong rival, the guy that hates Kyo so much that I'm 100% positive that if someone else managed to kill Kyo before him, Iori would massacre whomever Kyo's slayer was and desperately try to find every avenue to bring Kyo back to the living world, only to be hellbent on killing him again. Such is the life of one driven by such seething hatred. With Scorpion and Sub-Zero calling a truce and ending their feud in MKX, Iori may take the top spot for the most unrelenting, bloodthirsty fighting game rival as of right now. Anyways, these are 10 fascinating facts about Iori Yagami. Number 1, yet another redesign. In case you're new here, first off, thanks for watching. I'm glad to have you. Second of all, I loved Iori's KOF 15 trailer. Aside from his updated design, his climax where Orochi speaks through him before force-feeding the unfortunate soul trapped in his grip, some of those super hot purple flames is just pure hype. Even with the reveals of some of my personal favorites like Shermie, Luong, Mai, and even seeing how much I really enjoyed Isla's debut, Iori is still my current pick for the best KOF 15 character trailer. Looking back at his design, many fans were blown away with this fresh new look. Others pointed out that it seemed to be a callback. Back in KOF 2000, Iori had a maniac striker in the form of another Iori. The color scheme and the trench coat are a total match, albeit with KOF 15 Iori having some added detail with the trimming on his shirt and collar, as well as having his family crest on the back of the coat. Apparently, this is the outfit Iori wears in concert or at bars. Number 2, a KOF 13 event simultaneously occurred on his birthday. Well, that's nice. Even though Iori still wouldn't give a crap. Seriously, this guy would be a thunderous Scrooge on his own day of birth. Kei Yamamoto served as director and producer of KOF 13. In an interview with Dengeki Online, he recalled several fans attending a special KOF 13 event telling him that the day of the event was taking place on Iori's birthday. It's unknown if this was done on purpose though. Seeing the propensity of some SNK fans to point out very minute details, this was probably a freaky coincidence. Number 3, real-life heat with AOF developers. In his KOF debut in '95, Iori led the Rivals team, which additionally consisted of Eiji Kisaragi and Billy Khan. Though they didn't share a common enemy, they at least shared the fact that they had deep-running grudges. We already know who Iori hated, and still does. Eiji was continuing his anti-Kyoku Genryu crusade. Finally, Billy pursued the Bogard brothers to avenge Master Geese. Of course, there was no way a team like this would coexist for long, as the red-haired Rager battered Eiji and Billy in the team's ending. Though I'm sure Iori wouldn't be surprised at both of them hating him to this day, I think even he would be amazed that he evoked the wrath of the Art of Fighting dev team. Yup. They didn't take kindly to Eiji being crushed in his KOF debut. It probably hurt all the more seeing that Eiji's future KOF appearances would be few and far between. Bonus fun fact, every member of the '95 Rivals team was born on the 25th of a month, with Iori being born March 25th, while Eiji and Billy were both born on December 25th. Number 4, he was originally planned to be the final boss of KOF 97, in his Orochi form to be exact. Interestingly, we first saw this berserker side of Iori in the Yagami team's ending in '96. He was actually a playable character in the Game Boy port of that game as Iori! You know, with an exclamation point. Seeing that Orochi Iori was specifically designed to mow down other characters with ease, it sounds like he'd meet the criteria of SNK boss. One reason the staff caught cold feet doing this was concern for how Orochi Iori would be received by fans. Ultimately, Orochi Iori was relegated to being a mid-boss in KOF 97. Number 5, designers felt intense pressure when working on him. Such is the case for any popular character, if you ask me. On one hand, you don't want your most stalwart characters to become stale and boring, so you decide to spice them up a bit, maybe change them up. On the other hand, we've all heard it before, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. When it came to changing up Iori, designers were sweating and pouring entire rivers, calling him difficult to draw for. SNK artist Falcon felt severe pressure changing up Iori's design, calling it an untouchable design. Additionally, he felt unforgivable for his maximum impact alternate design, fearing a negative reaction from fans. While we're on this topic, number 6, don't touch the hair. I'm sure there are many things we could say about Iori's hairstyle, but one of the common descriptions uttered amongst SNK designers was apparently the word wild. In multiple interviews, when asked which KOF character they saw as wild, illustrators Shinkido, Tonko, Wing Yang, and King Tung all pointed fingers at the Flame of the Inn, citing his hairstyle as the deciding factor. Wing Yang and King Tung further stated that his hairstyle made him tough to draw, seeing its shape drastically changes based on the angle from which you draw him. Nobuyuki Kuroki seemed to be a fan of the hairstyle. During the development of KOF 14, he specifically wanted everything about Iori's design to be changed, except the hair. Character designer Eisuke Ogura would create the new outfit, which, alongside Kyo's, provoked controversy among fans. Oda explained that he wanted a new look for Iori and Kyo, seeing it was the start of a new arc. Number 7. Methinks Iori doth protest too much. Trash talking is an art form in and of itself, and KOF has some interesting jawjackers. Hein's specific win quotes alone kept me from naming him as 14's most boring character. Kukuris are a combination of some grim imagery and him swearing like a docker. Finally, I want to give an honorable mention to K-Dash for this quote aimed at Kula from KOF 2002, "You just bleed there and think about what you've done." Yeesh. If I had known about it beforehand, I'd think that Iori would have originally said that K-Dash quote. What he did say is the following standout quote in SVC Chaos. When facing off against Chun-Li, the very first thing Iori says to her is, "If you wish to not die, get thee to a nunnery." What? For those not in the know, "get thee to a nunnery" is a quote from William Shakespeare's Hamlet. In the simplest context, let me stop with that. In the simplest context, he's telling her to go away. Clearly Chun-Li caught on to what he was saying by denying she would die and that she was religious. A nunnery is a single or multiple buildings where nuns live as a religious community, and apparently there's been a debate over whether nunnery carries a second definition, that being slang for a brothel. If that is the case, I'm sure Chun-Li would turn that down as well. Number 8. Crazy Eights. Crazy Eights is the 8th entry on this list about Iori and his many references to the number 8. This video is also the 8th video in the Fascinating Facts About KOF character series. The universe is strangely funny like that sometimes. Iori's many references to the number 8 mostly stem from the Yamata no Orochi legend, which means story time! For starters, Iori's ancestors signed a blood pact with Orochi, who is named after the legendary 8-headed, 8-tailed serpent in Japanese folklore. Upon signing this blood pact, the newly rechristianed Yagami clan gained access to a forbidden technique, Yaotome, also known as the 8 Maidens. In the folktale, Susanoo encountered an elderly couple of gods, Ashinazuchi and Tenazuchi, who were crying. The couple had 8 daughters, but only one of them still lived. This was due to Orochi demanding one of their daughters as a sacrifice per year, and soon he would arrive to demand and devour the final one, Kushinada Hime. Susanoo planned a trap before Orochi's arrival, having the couple build a large fence with 8 gates. Upon each of the gates, they placed a vat which they filled with strong sake. When Orochi arrived to devour the final maiden, he was immediately drawn to the sake. He dipped each of his 8 heads into all the vats and drank himself into a slumber. Susanoo capitalized off this distraction, cutting Orochi into small pieces. 2 of Iori's supers reference the trap that Orochi fell for, Yasakazuki, or the 8 wine cups, and Yashiori, which is a reference to Yashiori no Sake, otherwise known as the sake of 8 salt snappers, which was the brew used to lure in Orochi. Number 9, recognizing the true 8 maidens. One thing that makes a cool super move even cooler is when it tells a story. We've already gone over Iori's signature 8 maiden super. However, as many of you know, a man named Ash Crimson came in, swiped Iori's Yasakani jewel, and left him literally flameless. Figuratively, Iori still had a fire inside of him, continuing to literally scratch and claw his way through combat. While his fire-free version of the 8 maidens may seem plain compared to the fire-filled version, it makes up for being pretty brutal in nature. Additionally, this version is actually something of a callback. If the throat rip at the end doesn't already give it away, it's basically a variation of Gonitz, or is it Genitz? What? I don't care. It's basically his take on the true 8 maidens, without the slam at the end of course, which is actually pretty cool. It's kind of interesting that Iori adopts a variation of a super that was once used by someone he helped defeat. Number 10, Masahiro Sakurai was amazed with him. Hope you enjoy your break, Sakurai-san and company. You earned it. With Terry Bogard's inclusion into Smash Bros. Ultimate, we were treated to Sakurai reminiscing and fanboying over SNK characters, games, and music. Of course, several characters from Fatal Fury, AOF, and KOF make cameos in the game. However, one of them really made an impression on Sakurai. You know who it is, he's the subject of this entire video. When showing Iori's in-game model for Smash, Sakurai stated he loved his design and attitude so much that he considered his designer a genius. I'm confident Shinichi Morioka would totally appreciate that. Also, seeing I open up this video with a clip of Iori's iconic laugh, I want to end it with one as well, albeit with a twist. I've got to give props to Nintendo with that Terry trailer, with my favorite part being Iori no-selling his failure to obtain his invitation. And that's my list. Know any other interesting cool facts about the Flame of the End? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos in the future. This is Chrysalid. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for supporting me. You all take care of yourselves. Be safe out there. See ya.
Hold it!
Right. I forgot. Usually I ask you all to vote on the next character that I cover in this series. And you're probably wondering, well, who's it gonna be since you gave us 3 videos of the last 3 choices we had? Well, if you want to find that out, YouTube finally gave me a community tab not too long ago, so go on over there and see who the next couple of choices are, and vote on the next episode. I'm so glad to have that tab now. But yeah, that's it. I'm out for real this time. Take care.